been about a week since I put out my last video, but work and life have been really hard. I just went back to work, so I apologize for the delay. But thank you for tuning in one more time with me, and yeah, let's get started. So the title of my video is called That's All I Knew. I picked this title because it's a known statement. It's a known phrase when dealing with relationships. I found myself saying that a lot until I decided I was done. I found myself saying that not even with relationships like sexually or romantic relationships like with friends, with myself, with situations I didn't want to be in. And I feel like this video could help a lot of people that are stuck in this phase. I'm going to start off really strong because I feel like for a strong statement, you need a strong video. So, don't disguise toxic for normality. I want to pause there because that for me hits a spot. Being able to accept the toxicness and you just being like, well, that's all I knew. And saying that is turning it into being normal, turning it into being more than what it is. Well, you're already giving it acceptance in your life. Just because you choose to ignore signs doesn't mean they aren't there. They're there. They're not going to go away because that's all you know. They're not going to go away because you ignore them. They're not going to go away because the person keeps saying they changed. They're not going to go away because you still accept that person in your life. They're not going to change. The situation's not going to change. The problem isn't going to change. Unless you wanted to, or unless that person wanted to, unless the situation is going to change. It's not just going to, the next day, just change instantly. Stop ignoring the signs. That's all I knew, and that's all I've been taught. Accepting that that's all you knew and that's all you've been taught is giving it the reign to rule over your life. It's like giving an excuse to not want better for yourself. It's stunting your growth. Stop stunting your growth. Why stunt your growth if you can start something new? Yeah, new beginnings are bad in certain cases, and yeah, change is a lot. And don't get me wrong, it took me a long time for me to realize that not all change is bad. I mean, change isn't bad, it's how you make of the change. Because even in a bad situation, you can change it. It depends on how you handle the situation or whatever you're in. New beginnings, new you, new hairstyle, new how you move, how you talk, how you walk, how you handle yourself, how people look at you. You change that. The strongness everybody sees in you is what you're going to see in yourself. The moment you give it a factor, the moment you give that a feeling in you, like, this is all I knew, this is all I've been taught from different people or different circumstances, you give it an item, you give it a life, rather than starting a new beginning, rather than starting a new path. You're giving it something to pull on you, rather than, I can be better, I can do better. Be better and do better for yourself. I wanted to do better. I did better. That's why I got up and did what I needed to do, because I was tired. You get tired going through the same cycle. You get tired of not having a new beginning and just having the same day and the same shit. You know what I'm saying? You get tired. Stop making excuses. Because the more you put an excuse on it, like I said, you give it a life. So as soon as you stop making excuses for yourself, and as soon as you hold yourself accountable for everything that you do, it's the first step of making a new beginning for yourself. So the moment you get tired, the moment you sit there and you be like, no, you know what, I'm done. Make it done. Be done. Confronting your own toxicity. So the moment you mess up, or you get confronted on something, or something happens, say you cheat on your spouse, or you stop talking to your best friend, or you're just rude as hell to your mom or your dad or your sisters. Making up an excuse like, that's all I know, rather than changing your own toxicity and confronting yourself, makes things worse. Nobody wants to be around that. Nobody wants to be around someone that doesn't take accountability within themselves. You realize that, okay, well, and then people confuse it too. When they say, like, oh, well, this is who I am. Another excuse. This is who I am, rather than confronting yourself and being like, you know what? Maybe I can go to therapy. Maybe I do have an anger issue. Maybe I do have a problem. Maybe I do have a cussing issue. Maybe I do have a drinking issue or smoking issue. But you just putting an excuse in front of it and saying, like, that's all I've been taught, or that's all I want for myself. Stop making excuses and confront yourself. Carrying these excuses in a new relationship can cause damage. You're damaging the next person. If you don't confront yourself and you don't realize the toxicity you're doing, you're ruining people around you. That's deep, because that hits us. Like, for me to realize that I was ruining people around me, like my sisters, my mom, my friends, the dudes that I was messing with, I realized that I had to fix myself before I tried to fix somebody else. I had to realize my own toxicity before I realized somebody else's. Before you point the finger, you gotta realize that, damn, yeah, I do that. Yeah, I do got a big mouth. Yeah, maybe I'm not trustworthy, or maybe I'm not loyal, or maybe I can be a little toxic. You have to realize those problems of yourself before you realize them with someone else. This isn't just for sexual relationships. Business partners, sisters, your mom, your dad, your uncles, your brother, military families, your best friends, your associates, someone you just met. You can literally ruin a friendship like this if you don't realize your own toxicity and the problems you give off. Because just saying that this is all I'm used to, or this is all I've been taught, or this is the person I am, and not confronting yourself, you're leading those people down the road you didn't want to be in the first place. If you don't forgive yourself for accepting damage, you'll damage people around you. Hurt people hurt people. If you're depressed and you hang out with people that aren't depressed and they start seeing you depressed and they start seeing, like, when you invite people into your depression, they start becoming depressed. If you start inviting people to your toxicity, they become toxic. If you don't confront yourself and forgive yourself for that, relationships won't work. They won't work out. I had to realize that myself. So at one point, I didn't have any friends. At one point, me and my mom were not good. At one point, me and my sister were not even on speaking terms. I had to realize my own toxicity. I had to realize that, dude, you just argued with the whole crowd for what? You just walked in this place loud as hell for what? You just came off toxic as hell for what? Because you want to make yourself known? Because you want to make yourself feel better? I had to realize that I wasn't getting anywhere with that. I had to realize I had to grow up and get help. It digs your hole deeper. If you feel already underwater, if you feel like you already can't breathe, if you already feel like depressed, sad, and your anxiety's through the roof, being toxic and just accepting, okay, well, this is who I am, and I'm used to this, and not making a change for yourself, you're just digging the hole that you dug yourself deeper. Trying to get out of the hole that you digged, trying to undig yourself from that hole is just going to be harder. You're just going to hurt yourself rather than realizing them now and getting out the hole. But there's one thing. Major lows definitely show you things that mountaintops can't. So yeah, you don't want to be in a deeper hole, but learn from the lessons you learn in your hole. Don't dig yourself in a hole deeper, then get out that hole and then get in another one. Learn from your mistakes. So when I was going through this process, I had to ask my sisters or my mom and the people around me, am I toxic? Sometimes I didn't like the answer. Sometimes I didn't like the feedback. But did I take it in? Yes. Why? Because the people around you know the best for you. If you chose correctly, if you trust your gut at this point, you're trusting your gut, you're getting confident. But now you're trying to confront yourself, and you're tired of making excuses for yourself. You have to be willing to agree and listen to things you don't really agree with. So if they say, Leah, you're doing too much. How am I doing too much? You went out 6 out of the 7 days this week. Do you even have money to be going out like that? Or Leah, why you buy that outfit? Because I needed clothes. All of this clothes in here for what? What are you trying to prove? Or Leah, why you drink a whole bottle you've drank a bottle every day this week? You have a drinking problem. You have to be able to accept those problems and fix them. Confronting yourself is a big thing. What have you noticed yourself doing? Stop ignoring them. Stop making excuses, like I said. The moment you make an excuse is the moment you give yourself willingness to keep doing it. Break the cycle. generational curses, family curses, they're not supposed to be easy. They're not easy to break. That's why they're generational curses. That's why everybody continues them, because not everybody can break them. Be that change. Be that person. Because I promise you, it'll work out. It's hard as hell. Keep going. Because if you don't keep going and you make excuses and you accept if you accept everything you don't want to accept, and you keep doing the things that you keep making your mind up, and you keep overthinking it, like, oh, I know I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna still do it. Why? Because you talked yourself into it. Stop talking yourself into doing things you know you shouldn't be doing in the first place. How many situations have you been in that you talked yourself to be getting into? How many excuses have you made to make yourself feel better? Stop. It's not going to make you feel better. Believe in yourself. If you don't believe you can do this, if you don't believe that you're tired, if you don't believe you're tired of knowing that's all I knew, that's all I can give, that's all I've been taught, you're going to stay in the cycle. Get out the cycle. Some people are stuck in this stage for years. Break the cycle. Love yourself. Cry for yourself. Fix your face. Get up every day. Believe in yourself. Speak existence to yourself. I'm gonna do it. Why? Because I said I can. I love my hair. Why? Because I know I can. It's the best for me. They don't like it? Fine. I'm gonna get better. Why? Because I deserve better. Stop accepting less than what you deserve. Because you don't deserve it. You don't deserve any less. Okay. This is by far my favorite topic that I've so far talked about, because I believe not only can this work for women, I noticed men go through this stage too. They accept hardships, they accept positions, they accept relationships they shouldn't be in, because they feel like, well, this is all I know, this is all I've been taught. The toxicity, the problems, it's not okay. But you have to fix that yourself. Stop accepting less. I want to thank you guys again for listening and watching. Thanks.